Since I issue a buy, Nipa Bebre and a Kahonsem, and I'm not sure, sir, you're moving me very surprised about the Eco Suite because you see certain determined effort be on the part of government, say, obey incriminating now imprison people in the previous administration. But when it comes to honor, nabaimu, similar things no more accusing people. For the same reason people are in court now. People in his government double those activities. But the Akufo-Addo government isn't bothered about say or making effort to prosecute these individuals. Said they all see a way, and then they bring the question of whether the government is really committed to the fight against corruption. No, and now say that particular way no any I think the politics no more there.
And the politics,
obviously, and one person they find keen say obetimi yes sir adwuma no Godfred Odame. And this where kwanya ya for circumstances am pamo Madam Gloria Kufukoye because no said o see na adwuma no onye somebody abetimi manipulating bebrebe sir. But this guy is a hatchet man. Akufo-Addo free so betimi use no, and over the years so when the posture or a very arrogant person just like Akufo-Addo na the same na so who had the posture in the public utterances for very arrogant, and he's somebody free said he can be used to execute such activities. And this all here the public utterances in some or number or can say the was that certain name be a d where the nyasho say young one say who say or no somebody or a lawyer our attorney general will go to the extent say all manipulating a witness in an ongoing trial say on fabricated stories now online on perjury on home or him say the person has taken an oath. You know, say perjury in the court of law where you can go to prison.
That's right.
And the attorney general is insisting calling the witness at all hours. Don't forget any partner you're prosecuting attorney general and the leading prosecution. So we are party to the case so you have no rights a court proceedings because a witness is in as a partner no we're in the room. But to be on phone calls with a person at all hours trying to manipulate the person say or incriminate nipana or accused person. The question that maybe someone want to say indeed say at forcing right?
That's right.
So would you hoodie say at forcing 84 and you have evidence about incriminating you have no business going out there attempting to manipulate a witness so or incriminating and only trungu so what I say it is only when you feel say in some now what can be young politics you have no substantial case competent enough for betting so they are winning this particular case and no more will go to that desperate attempt. I will go on a fishing expedition on the desert. Said desert, you know also.
That's right.
But where they are a fishing expedition on the desert, looking for fish. That is why he's doing these things. So me, I don't feel surprised and answer way. That is his nature. He came as a hatchet man, and you see, Nema Godfred Odame, things are all here to protect Akufo-Addo as a person and in the government, not the people, because you see. Office of Attorney General, no, I'm going to pay attention to.
Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice.
Exactly. And who say he's behaving like a dog on a leash. What unim dog on the Kramaya de Ahoma, Ason Ukurano. Baby, that is how he's behaving. His allegiance is to Akufo-Addo, or ordinary, but ordinary. So we are Minister of Justice and Attorney General. Your first allegiance is to the people of this country, to the constitution of this country, and before even the government, now we are part of it.
But all them time inviting you because allegiance is to the president Anando.
That is it. And as Attorney General, your allegiance can never be to the person or appointed. Because in as smart as people are appointed, you are not serving the person, you are serving the people of this country. Prosecution, everything is in your hands. Now, Alaska, Ghana is a serious country, and by now. And let the African president put Godfred Odame's position on hold pending investigation. If you appreciate the sensitive nature of our judicial system, the say all the organs of government in India, you can play and toy around. But one of them are very sensitive, the judiciary. And Attorney General, no, one way or the other, whichever way you want to look at it, no, he has an overbearing, your friend say, impact over your court system, no, so.
Exactly.
Because on the Chief Justice, and as for Nema, some of the reforms, and as for a court, and as for Attorney General, and then the Chief Justice. So it's a one. Let me go to the extent of manipulating witnesses against people of Moko Court now. It is not rob the integrity away from the Attorney General alone, but also seek to indict the credibility of our judicial system. And I think that it is in that particular light, and I may expect to say, and can Yahoo joint statement because as I'm not it could be false allegations, it could be anything. But looking at the sensitive nature, and as I'm not I'm going to say a real court no na oye interview no
our
open court it's on record court records capture it will be on record say through these proceedings no you betimi aka say Attorney General attempted to manipulate as to whether it is true or not no nay so we are serious you must do everything to clear the doubt on the minds of people until you institute investigation into this particular matter. Now what should you consider we yet? Now who say indeed, as some any partner can sebi shred of your friend say we will cry woman over to me general so and enim and sana am Attorney General and what na Ghana for a year so winimu Alaska. Asama papa yi kan ye say asama ye di ho we the wutwa bi
asama enya dance ye twa
oh good a pee na to da eden o yeah Alaska so let us assume that admitting say some na papa no kan no sabi ayen sem huru no kan yan reverse the gear back na yan hwe the trajectory Godfred Odame nam so ayen adwuma e wo kroma say recently in the Sicily case you saw the rumble style or attempted to kill the matter. All can say the office of the special prosecutor and I indicate, now per the investigations in as for a course, or not sure special prosecutor killed the matter. It barely took few hours for the office of the special prosecutor to come out and deny say no. Young class is the part of the investigation. Do baby who's a money laundry way woman and you push my yoke to continue the investigation. And Yoko so push bro. You killed the matter because you told Yoko said they should not proceed with the money laundering investigation. So if there is anybody or kill a matter now, you want to kill it, not a special prosecutor. So this is the person I can and over the years we've seen many cases I've seen for expect to say people within government and you're taking them on. Now young prosecutor I can't say this is an Attorney General who is prosecuting people for willfully causing financial loss to the state, while people in his government are foolishly causing financial loss to the state. That's how willfully they thought that, yeah.
That's right.
But when yeah, people are foolishly causing financial loss to the state. Oh, definitely, Alaska. And there are enough evidence. There are enough reasons, enough basis about to make general initiative prosecution against these individuals. Because a bit of a trite conversation because you see these names have been coming up. So it be like we are just rehashing what has been said in the past. You understand? So I think that Sanyama we are there and Yamin but you see, Nina coming back to the same president, Alaska. So that was see Afan Hono. You see. So what's your position? I say, people around you, and I say for their loyalty, allegiance, whatever could be to the person. Yeah, you might just. But the very moment you win power, the allegiance must shift. It should be to the government. It should be to the people. It should be to the constitution of this country, not the person and his interest. And that is the shift. Godfred Odame ain't to me who yeah, and I don't know how old he is, but he appears a bit childish. And all your interviews are that kind of infantile orientation and as a so arrogant to the extent that sometimes you don't even know what he's seeking to achieve because for Attorney General it's a very sensitive position. People must have trust and confidence in you. People must know that you guard the state against any excesses, being financial, criminal or whatever. You are there for the state. Day and night you protect the interests of the state. But this is a guy who doesn't care about the interest of the state. He doesn't care about anything Ghana. Then as for because you see most of the shady transactions and as for I cost you and Alaska didn't pass through the hands. One way or the other. The Attorney General's advice is seeking in most of the things that Akufo-Addo does. That's right. And they all end up to be criminal activities. Today, look at where Ghana is today. And then you will need to be on in China, and then now but TV is not about judgment depth and then as for Alaska. Sometimes it's a bit frustrating when you take your time to go through some of these things because before some of the issues are so nauseating that so one take it time you might end up saying things as a bit because my cousin so we some of the things a pushy yesterday now when Papa we have a conversation. That's right. Am I cool from Nkrumah time, from your friends Buzia time, Rollins time, then as a phone you seen the circumstances and why Ghana went into those military junctures now. Alaska, me sure say events are there the and Akufo-Addo time you come. But the only thing is the average and the ordinary Ghanaian are a bit enlightened. So far as issues of politics are concerned, and among for exercise patient because they know say that is the kind of patience you see say Ghana for are restraining watching this nonsense in a manner but these people don't realize it because you see my country say governance in a stage you can't be there forever. Alaska, when you get to the stage you make your mark and go away. Sure. And it is the kind of mark you make, you know. And about dente your name in history, I remember people always making reference to you. So if you come and you fail in that particular regard and look at the material gain, just like these people, and your safety attention, you know, from say you're guarding the state, you're protecting the state, you're guarding Ghanaians against any other things, you know. They are looking at their interests. Look at the way and manner these people have bundled six hotels belonging to Senate. Because Attorney General, no, new is saying. That's right. Alaska, because Senate cannot come and tell me say 6 hotels belonging to Senate, have become non-profitable. So if you make that statement, it means that people you are putting in charge to manage this state are irresponsible people. That's because right. You can't have 6 separate hotels and you tell people say you are not making profit. Again, they are seeking to suggest say they want a strategic investor to come and put money into their hotels. Good. But when you have a hotel, that's a sell 60% stake in that hotel. You are no longer the owner. You rather become a minor investor in somebody's hotel. I don't know if you get the argument. That's right. Because almost say hotel ni omo there. They need strategic investor or this kabeba near pushing efficiency into maybe hotel. I don't know. But if you say you are selling 60% stake, it means that you are rather becoming a minority investor in somebody's 60% if it's a hotel. Exactly. So I don't know the indirect. When I am minor investor. So and they put this statement out there because so we are serious. What you know is that you wait me and sell a 40% stake. That's right. But because I'm saying agenda, no winning your boy, now your plan is say we will capture this particular state before we go home. You know, you see, your boy and your goose again. Select the statement. I want to say, oh, when they come to hotel, we are looking for an entity with requisite experience, right. Our managerial expertise and certain knowledge in the management of hotels and as a forum, or said 9 companies and submitted bills. Alaska, Senate has been in this hotel management business for years. Exactly. Rock City now, all Babatono. Yesterday, Rock City operations, you know, go and check from their website. It's been 2-3 years in here and I was starting operations. So how then do you sell a hotel our experience over years and also want to be managing? Over 2 years. Over 2 years, you know, can manage. That is make sense. You see, and I'm like I said, Nipana or minus are people because Bonia show with me, you know, they don't sit down to analyze situations and then as for before they jump into conclusions. Because when I was say, and I will be our managing hotel for over 20 years, we say due to technical inefficiency, then as for you know, only experience. But Obi will not be in the hotel for 2 years ago. Alaska winning very interesting thing. By the time I Senate, a putu, yeah, this hotel say, I'm for bed, Marano. Not Rock City, name you. Our experience with them. No experience with them. I go so na see hotel, no you. Well, I saw more bottom. Now, Alaska, and there sometimes why I get pissed. And sometimes Mr. Sending you know the Korea Kufa to 3 soon say. Sometimes I wonder what his motivations are. Because he's a grown man and you expect a sabi. Money is not life for me woman, money is not everything though. But sometimes respect, dignity, and those kind of stuff. I know what to those things has been thrown to the dog. We go win him. Considering the notoriety Akufo-Addo government are gaining for family and friends, and there is a fact, enough fact to substantiate to say indeed, the family and friends can buy a Ghana for a come we will be a sabi one dream with her. What is a brand champion a bidding for that particular thing? As a sensible person, you just tell me, Brian, hey, don't go there. I'm telling you. You just pick a phone call and tell me, hey, Brian, don't go there. You know, sir, you already know we've gained notoriety for this. But the president didn't care. And this Brian Champon has the energy going around radio telling people, say, menye non or on your director on your beneficiary and so forth. And sometimes I wonder the kind of, you see, Alaska, the whole essence of education and just a paper certificate. Education is a platform to train the mind. Sabe a bit me Gina and navigate it through stormy situations, circumstances, and so forth. And never be a trouble one bit me wave certain ingenuity, certain knowledge will come to bear. That is whole essence of education. It's not about paper. That is why I said, "Oh, but when your papers in your casa, I said, as a yes, not here, Alaska, because you should be able to use that particular way to build yourself to the extent that with knowledge, you know, by your idea, or what you brought to help solve problems. You don't create and complicate situations because of your technicalities and those stuff. Because whether you been a non-executive or executive, whatever, at the end of the day, you own the hotels. And he has admitted publicly, say, I own it. If you own it, whatever profit, whatever be a hotel, no, just prove me wrong. You have admitted publicly, say, you own it. So you own it in what sense? So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, say, hotel no make it profit. All the profit everything, it's your money.
Exactly.
It's your investment because you own it. So we hotel now, Alaska, a state asset and a water. And again, we could be right. And the reasons could be genuine. So okay, Brian Champon, Sikana and so forth. Once we are government official, so all Baba to idea be say transparency must be key.
Exactly.
Sikana whatever we know free hifa because the yeti ya is a Brian Champon Kuku Rock City. He's a government official here, Juma. Apart from the parliament work, or other worker, people don't know. And people are not saying so we are Sika, but let's say good governance and leadership politics, you know. And one it all ethics, moral code, certain principles. Yeah, you power and duty bearers must adhere to whether you like it or not. Because conflict of interest, I can say me, it's not a criminal code; it's a moral code.
Exactly.
It's a moral code that seeks to guarantee trust and confidence public have in the duty bearers. So anytime be aside, no take care of free hobiano, and rather make catch you say, what's your mind? Now I'm just a police for the soldier for the bomb mine home. That's how we are. Yes, Alaska, I dear hold do every government in space. Government space be a government be occupied be the only thing that fastens that government in space in that particular place, you know. I trust and confidence people put in that government. When people lose trust, it is how the TV about down, now the screw a boom. When you unscrew, the TV will come down. It doesn't matter how heavy the TV is, it will come down. Sanity. Abra US for to about Donald Trump's area no. Ordinary no can. The American people lost trust in the political establishment. They went ahead to attack the Capitol Hill.
That's right.
America's political sanctuary was attacked for the first time in the history because people lost trust in the system. Soldier no police were here. But Nipana oh my no, you don't see soldier no police yo. And soldier no police in the area no near now for you know they have parents, they have friends, they have classmates, they have church members, and you think people will turn their guns on their friends and because when our command. So you see, some my guso aye kan in Alaska, unya power now tribe. Esa wo tribe unya sam. Now we leave an indelible imprint on the minds of people. That is why I always sit and talk to you about say Kwame Nkrumah na man for kana sem no. Kwame Nkrumah and getting the team because he was richer. Yes, you call the Krum bread and Kro nibi. But today, every textbook on politics in Africa, it doesn't matter which country you find yourself in. America, Russia, the name in Nkrumah is featured. Not because he was rich, but because he left a legacy, a leave an indelible imprint on the minds. Legacy a transcending beyond generations. And then what can be a kind of and then me a leader now when I get into the space. The main is to leave a legacy, a lasting one that will leave imprint on the minds of people. People in the future will make reference to, and you forever be consigned to the good pages of our political history, not the dark pages. That's maybe a Godfred Odame. Oh, dark pages. Now, he will even wait to say Ghana political history. And now, last guy, yes, and then Senate about one thing I can say. Hotels don't perform it. Alaska. So hotel empire for me, what do? It means that people who are managing it, you know, at least you need to do a bit of reshuffle. Because it is not always MIC state asset in for me, I am told. Now that's can run catch a Mugabe said. Say your per state asset empire for me, I will chrome on a ton. I think I'll go for my China for. Oh, I'm telling you.
Your per state asset
empire for me. I go for the turn on my China for the state asset, and he's not performing. He has proven to be so unuseful as president. Very, very, very unuseful. So if there is any state asset that has proven non-profitable, a Ghana for come for so now I'm for new. I think on the what on ground money, Papa, what on my China for no more than a cock. Oh, and Sam go for what to turn on there, no. Yes, now what the Omod not shame no more than a cock. Because the trust and the confidence people reposed in him. What's it? But the trust and the confidence people repose in him, no, that is not what Akufo-Addo is delivering. So, Senate to say 6 hotels ain't been performing as a ton is Akaka, and Akufo-Addo get a ton of the radar.
Akufo-Addo now knew what the guts to say
to Obin perform. You have no moral locus to accuse, because Alaska, me say the whole enterprise of governance, you know, you don't come, it's not a comfort zone, no. Maybe people don't understand the enterprise of good governance, you know, it's never a comfort zone. It's about problem solving kind of way in a way. So that is why people assume that you have a certain intellectual ingenuity, certain idea, certain way, yeah, override the problem, because the we are saying that one, I have trouble galore. But you need to develop, you go to school to train our mind to develop certain things that we able to navigate. And the way our buying us a problem, no bar, you should be able to at least find a way to solve it. So you cannot sit here and tell me, say, sets of Senate Hotel is not performing to town.
Oh, the town, so Obia will be before 2 years.
Obia will him no, Asanka wa buying home, and I will turn man. Now, say state asset, your town and performing your town. And I go for them, think your town that I do. Kia turn on my China for more than acquired or more than a bay. By Ghana for as so, yes, so. Sabaya, at least, yes, just a bay. You see, we are very hopeful. Hoping that and then you cry in Kita because we are very civilized people. So I go for your friends, the media, no, Alaska, the Ghana Namuno, a try time, and you see, an amount for a hold on heart. And I don't know brazy or more akoma. And I'm monitoring what is going on. Because these people came with a particular mindset. Now I know like I know many beauty call radio the TV no than a Japa book no by na uzana pay attention to but now no me catch say if you go through the Japa deal in as for some more can. It's in line with whatever the whole governance almost set up no is in furtherance of that particular scheme, that agenda. Yes, but the only difference is so you see, none of my country will be say I have seen criminals. Omunya a badge of honor, an executive badge. With me, Oko Italy. Most of the mafia got access to power. US and some of them at some point in time, no. But last time you see, these people operate with ingenuity. They are very meticulous. Nipa no ye criminal because criminals are very intelligent. If you are not intelligent, you can be a criminal.
So in our part of the world,
yes, you should be able to outwit an established system and say wait me a criminal. Oko elsewhere now. I want more criminals. Alaska will be the bone. It will take years and some way to find it out. You see, some of this big pharma, big tech, sometimes you need to undergo corporate and industrial espionage
before
you spy on them before you be able to identify. But Alaska, this cartel of unintelligent criminals who are greedy, no, almost started some cookie deal now. No more to daddy. Yes, now which intelligent person and a state asset are more finance acquaintance so you have telephone conversation. But at the end of the day, the audio was out there. And you can catalog the number of instances that these people have been caught pan down and demonstrating how unintelligent they are. So Alaska, WM catch how dangerous it is when you arm a fool with political power. Oh yes. And that is the consequences Ghana for enemy. So sometimes we can't blame nobody because we caused it. You want to be and throw idea into air and you don't expect it to fall back.
That's right.
The very moment about two idea no, you should expect it to come back. Oh no, and you see, I'm happy say and most Ghanaians have come to the realization that Akufo-Addo is nothing but a scam. Oh yes.
Oh yes, scam.
Alaska. A disaster in definition. And a Ghana for the 2 million man. And you see, near my head, I didn't say, I don't mean yet. And yes, I be the Patapano more than them. Because for instance, they assured us when the dollar under John Mahama was 4 cedi something pesos, right. You know. He told everybody, say, Baumia was out there organizing lectures. Our Access University, Central University.
11 different lectures.
Alaska. And you see, selling your friend said theoretical wisdom to people. Not knowing that that man who was selling theoretical wisdom, not lack practical wisdom.
Theory.
Yeah, no, practical wisdom no nibi. Because and here we are. On the year, your friends saying leader of the economic management team. Look at Ghana's city.
Now you're not talking about it.
How can you talk about it? Today he has become a jovial character on political platform, dancing and engaging a whole lot of your friends are very embarrassing skating activities. Alaska. Today here we are. And that dollar no won't mean the last time my laptop I said I may try say me check it laptop price or Alaska. Now who price in the hoka crab down the bus is not convert here. No, we are masho. Sanity. These are the present and the genuine problems Ghanaians are going through. So as a vice president, you have a role. It's not as if say you are not in power. You are not talking from the political fringes. So you are in power today. You have power to stop what is going on. And then he comes back and tells you, say, when you are still standing there, you have power. Now say Ghana is a serious country. I'm saying about me and radio station be a new crank ever granting interview. Oh yes. You see, we don't live in a decent society.
And so, one man granting an interview, they are not serious.
Alaska. No, you see, we in Nepal, conviction is key.
Right.
If you hold on to say, I didn't win a mayor, you need to stand and defend it. It doesn't matter what happens. Because as long as the whole is in line with your inner conviction, it brings you satisfaction and motivation.
Right.
You don't hold other lines. What I say? Because you see, I just have a bit time about me. But no one and akoso. And look at the current state of this country. And this same joker comes back to tell you, say, give me power, I'll be president before I'll face the problem. Now what the manner? Now what in the joker in China? So what the 2 million man, you are more of a joker than the guy.
So in
conclusion, when people engage him on radio, instead of them to ask him the biting questions, Alaska, they dance around this whole issue. Okay, Poalugu now, Poalugu issues. This is a guy who goes sit on radio and tell people, say, this is the biggest investment in Africa. Yeah, or Poalugu way. You go there and you find nothing. Go and look at poverty at that particular place. If you say no for there, sometimes I become so disappointed. Most of your friends are northern politicians. Alaska, because you see, Baumia go there and tell people, say, me see hostels are makayaye. Now they will like yayare and answer saying, and media people celebrate this. I am saying, say, kayaye is not something that should even feature in our politics because it's a very your friends are derogatory. It is denegatory and a seeking to cast a certain negative way be because kayaye na yeka wasem no. My catch was a byproduct of what?
Of poverty.
Of poverty and unemployment.
That's right.
And never young, beautiful young ladies in their saying formative saying
I see says you only I metro mass driving.
Alaska. Na ayalolo metro mass ni do saying kaya for and our crab you see such joke, no, we don't need to entertain it because Alaska, there is an unemployment situation in the north. How do you stop the migration? You need to stop the migration.
And once you host us, move your madam.
They should come and do kaya. Yes, when you can stop the migration, today you have power because you cannot invest it to Guno in the north. There are other factories of it. These people will feel the dignity in themselves because almost see any power.
Right.
Over here, any power is not every day. Not pines so bit. So now look at the ordeals these people go through, leaving their parents all the way to Kumasi to do these silly jobs. And today you are president, you are one of them, and you think the best way you can do to tackle the problem, set me see hostels are more. So I'm let them know when you kaya.
Now, me, we are moving 40 days, you know. Oh,
you can't blame them. Alaska, when you are in a desperate situation, sometimes, especially when you get to your 30s, get into your 40s, and you have nothing, you sometimes, you know, you need to understand the kind of frustration, so especially a man or woman, no, or be your bar.
So when there is none, bad is good.
Exactly. So Alaska, we maybe I do know these people, our voices a bit more shelter protect you more. Because like I said, in a society where good man decides say you be a bystander to history, no, evil forces like Baumia, asses of evil like Agufado's government, you know, will gather momentum and will click to their destructive best. No, they are living in luxury, and then a Japadia will chrome her, you know, your friends are quite on in a crying sassy, and never have her. Messan crying sassy, Nipan go betting me a torn fan who will be a missing, hey, Rollins.
That's right.
Rollins could have